Understand something. Plain and simple. To me, Abigail was a delicious poison. An intoxicating, overwhelming poison. Yowie wowie! That felt good! Yowie wowie. Let me in.
Boy, do we have a lot to talk about this week. Welcome back, everyone. We're glad to be back from our hiatus. Um, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for joining. As always, I have the one, the only Abby, aka Jodie Gilly. Jodie, how are you?
A little under the weather today, but be all right.
Well, we hope you feel better.
Because, I'm off to Ohio this weekend.
That's right. That's right. And I'm sure you're going to get into that when we go to Caleb's Corner. Um, yeah, that's exciting. So I'm excited for you.
Me too.
Well, let's welcome in some folks real quick, and then we will get into all of the Caleb stuff that's coming up, and obviously we have a lot to talk about with Wyndham. So we'll get there. All right, just a little bit, just a little bit. Odin's son, Dakota, Brittany K. What's up, Brittany?
It's Brittany's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, happy birthday, happy early birthday. I hope I have a Here we go. Happy birthday. There you go. There you go. Happy birthday. Annette, Sean, James, Chadwick, by the way. James Chadwick. I got to differentiate. Hanzo, Big Dan, Alicia, Shane, Ahmad, Dork Knight, Paul D, Gust, Rare Kitty Balloonicorn. You'll love that.
I
You'll
love
love
that every week. It just makes me smile.
it. It is. I know. I know. And Sean's birthday is on Wednesday.
My goodness.
All right. Well,
Birthdays all around.
you know what? I got to play it again. We got another birthday.
Okay,
I
go
got to
for
play it
it.
again. Let's go. There we go. Happy early birthday to Sean. What's up, Jesse Callan? Wow, we got a lot going on. Got a lot going on. So let's let's start out with Caleb's corner. You ready for that?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Always.
let's
Always.
let's go to Caleb's corner.
Gosh, that man is sexy. Okay. So I will be going to Marietta, Ohio to see Mr. Caleb Johnson perform with the Neverland Express and be going to the Bat Experience. I'm super excited. Um, and next weekend, I do have meet and greet tickets for this weekend. I've got some really kick-ass presents to give him. He's going to completely flip out. And then next weekend is the concert at Silverados in Black Mountain, North Carolina, which the whole family, except for Tate, unfortunately, is going to go to. And Harper is already losing her mind because she has a bigger crush on that guy than I do.
And Harper's in the chat, by the way, too.
I see that. Yeah, so I think she has a bigger crush on him than I do. And Logan, um, you know, loves Caleb as well. So they're super excited. And Logan's gonna lose his mind. I think he's gonna see him and just make a beeline for him. I won't be able to catch him. So yes, make sure you go to www.calebjohnsonofficial.com, get your merch. Make sure you get Mountain Mojo Volume 1 on vinyl because it's awesome. And if he's anywhere near you, doesn't matter who he's playing with, just go see him because he's awesome.
There you go. And that, folks, is Caleb's Corner for the week. So that's exciting, though, going to a concert. I love concerts.
Yeah.
I love concerts, especially, talented artists. Um, yeah, it's always good.
It's gonna be awesome. Um you know, Meatloaf was kind of his mentor, and so I made him something that took me a long time, but hopefully that it's as special to him as he is to me. I spent a lot of time designing this whole thing, and I'm not an artist, but I think it came out pretty good. And then, yeah, I got him something else that's going to make him nerd out a little bit.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm
He's got
excited to
some
see
awesome
what his
gifts.
reaction is.
Yeah, he's got some awesome gifts. That's a good question, Dork Knight. Who is the most famous person born on everybody's birthday? Good gracious. I'd have
Ooh,
to, I'd have to go look that up.
yeah, I have no idea.
What's up, Wes? Thank you for joining. Jason P says, Jody, ask about the UK tour.
I will, because he had made a post on Instagram about announcing something with a bunch of Union Jack flags on it, and then didn't hear anything else about it. So, because I'll be in England this summer as well, or late summer, so that would be kind of neat to
That
get to
would
see
be
him in my homeland,
in your homeland.
in my stomping grounds.
There you go. James Grant, what's up? Thank you for joining. Randy Sam. Um, what's up, Randy Sam? All right, so we got a lot to talk about.
Hmm.
We got a lot to talk about. So
Wyndham was quite chatty
he was quite chatty,
last week. He was very talkative.
very, very, had some very interesting things
Hmm.
to say. So you just want to let's start with the profile picture. What do you say? We'll start there. So new profile pic
New name
for and
too.
a new name, Wyatt 6.
Hmm.
So instead of Wyndham, Wyatt, and then you got this picture. Jody, I gotta ask you first thoughts upon seeing the name change and seeing this profile picture, which I will make a little bit bigger now.
I mean, immediately you recognize that because it's on the back of one of the T-shirts, several of the T-shirts, I think, actually. But it sticks out to me. Do you remember the movie poster T-shirt? The
Mm,
Fiend movie poster T-shirt. That
yeah.
design, obviously without the red pen, um, is on the back of it.
Mm,
So I kind of immediately noticed that. And then you have to remember, the tweet that he posted a little while ago with the cocoon. And
yeah.
it makes you wonder, is this a progression of this story all along? I mean, he's always said that life is a circle, but yeah, I agree with James Chadwick. Is this going to be the sixth character? Um, it's interesting that the Fiend's face is marked out in red pen,
Yes.
because my grandmother, was really superstitious, and she always said never like sign your name in red pen because it was, uh, like blood, you know what I mean? So signing your name in blood. And so she was always really superstitious like that. And so that's kind of always stuck with me. So immediately you see that red pen and you see that he's scratched the whole face out. And why? Does that mean that the fiend persona is gone? But he also did say that all the character, there was no fiend and Funhouse Bray. They were all one and the same and all of that stuff. So, um, I don't know.
There's a lot to unpack. I mean, there's always a lot to unpack.
He loves driving us crazy.
Yeah, why
And I
not?
mean that in the most loving way possible because he knows I love him. But yeah,
I
I
mean,
love
it's
that he can just, because this whole thing started, I think he started trending on Twitter just after changing his profile picture.
yeah,
Like,
just by doing that.
he could literally send out a tweet that has the letter A and it would break the internet. I mean,
And he's
ugh.
trending. And he's trending. So
Yeah.
yeah, so he that was interesting seeing that profile picture and all that, but then he got talkative.
He did.
He got talkative. So I'm gonna start with this one. Um let yeah, let's read this one. Everything good that's ever happened to me first came a period horrible suffering. I never ask why. I just wait for the rough part to end. I was chosen for whatever reason, and I've got shit to do. It doesn't hurt anymore. It burns. I'm ready now. And he has the circle there. All right. This is a lot. So this is the first one.
So few words, but says so much.
Yes.
Ugh.
Break this down for us because there's a lot to unpack here, and I've got another question for you too, but I'll probably get to that at the end.
Um, I think, me personally, my immediate reaction was that he's not necessarily talking about making an in-ring return here. Um, if you go back and look at some of his old tweets after he first got released, he was saying, "What do we do now? We wait for the right time. We wait for the right place." And I believe that's what he's referring to. I think he's talking about being ready to tell that story. Um, that he's in a place where it doesn't hurt anymore. Although saying it burns right after that typically burns hurt. But um, I'm not going to even pretend to understand his genius mind. But um, me personally, that's what I think he's saying, is that he's finally ready to tell his story. I mean, he told me that in March that he's got a story to tell, and I said, I know everybody wants to hear it. So me personally, just from the vibe that I got from him, when I saw him in March, is that he's ready to tell that story.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know immediately when people saw the "I'm ready now," immediately they thought, "Oh my god, he's coming back like tomorrow."
Yeah.
Um, and and you can let your mind go there a little bit, but when you really look at it, it's like, okay, what is he ready for? And it burns it's kind of like I got to get it out now. I got to get this out.
Mhm.
So
And this, I don't mean this in a bad way either, but Bray hardly ever means what he says.
Mm.
There's always some deeper meaning to it. You can't ever take what he says at face value. You have to dig into it, because 9 times out of 10, what he says isn't what he means. You got to read between the lines a little bit.
yeah,
Like I said, I mean that in the most loving way possible, because I love it. And it's one of the things I love most about him. But he's, I think he's ready to tell his story. Which, he knows that he's always got an outlet here
yep,
anytime he wants to.
yep. Who's this? Zambi says, Jody, I love you.
Okay.
There you go. Brittany saying she loves Jody more. Competition.
All righty.
But yeah, that was a lot to
Okay.
all right.
Oh my
All
God.
right. There you go. There you
Woo!
go. Got a competition. Got a competition.
We all know who loves me the most. So,
But yeah, that was a lot. Like, and it's funny because he just comes out is random. Like you don't expect it. It's just out of the blue. Just here you go. Like
yeah.
here's some.
I wonder if he
Here,
plans it that way.
I wonder.
Wonder if he gets up in the morning. Wonder if he got up that morning and just go, I think I'll break the internet today.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll see.
we shall see. We
I
shall
wonder if
see.
he's just like, I feel like talking. Let's talk.
Let's
Or
do
if
it.
it was, if it was, yeah, I'm gonna break the internet today.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, he kept talking,
He
and
did.
and we keep listening. I'm tired of watching, tired of hearing irrelevant clowns speculate how I'll be perceived, tired of hearing about my greed, my desire questioned. Wherever and whenever I decide to return, I'll remind everyone why they know my name again and again. Believe in me. Hashtag I found it.
I mean, tired of hearing irrelevant clowns speculate how it'll be perceived. You could take that in lots of different ways.
Yeah.
Lots. Lots. And I mean, really, you have no idea if he's talking about someone specifically or several people specifically, or, um, you know, lots of people have said lots of things about him going places or going here or there and which should be better. But same thing with, about my greed and desire question. Look, we all know that Wyndham loves the fans, and that's one of the big reasons why he loves to do what he does. And he's so giving and really takes time to build those relationships with fans, and that's why he has such a dedicated fan base. And we will always believe in him, always, and we will follow him to the ends of the earth and back again till the wheels fall off and set on fire. But It's interesting that he says wherever and whenever I decide to return.
Yes.
Which, he should be the one to make that decision, obviously. And I've kind of said this before, that he's in a very special position right now where he can wait for what he wants.
Yep.
If creative freedom, total creative freedom is what he wants, he can wait for that. And I think he will wait for exactly whatever it is that he wants.
Yep.
Plus, he's got a wedding to plan.
That's right. Give the man a little bit of time.
But he also said, I found it. So whatever he wants, he found it. So that's interesting.
Or
like he knows what he wants to do and where he wants to go.
Or do you think that it might mean he has found that confidence once again?
It could also mean that, he found Pennywise in the drain.
Okay.
I'm kidding, but yeah. It definitely could be that he found that confidence again. I don't know that he ever lost it though.
Well, maybe I hope he didn't. But whatever, maybe it's that peace again or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's an interesting, again, it's one of those things where it's just so interesting.
You could take it in 20 different ways.
Yeah. And people do.
Yeah. He's, like I said, that's one of the things that we love most about him, is that we can just speculate and have fun with it. And see, Deanna got it. Speculate and have fun with it. And is it going to go in this direction or that direction, or, up, down, left, right, in circles. So
there you go. So we found out who the person was. They're sitting next to Brittany. There you go. The battle of love. Everyone wins. Everyone wins the battle of love.
I'm a big girl. I got plenty of love to go around.
There you go. All right, let's see. Okay, so we get another tweet, and this is one that got the people talking. What's up, Nicole? And I wanna spend a good bit of time on this one because we can speculate, and I want to talk about stuff from last night too. But this is so simple, but there's so much to it. Patience. It's almost time.
Mm-hmm. 4 words.
That almost said more than the 2 previous tweets combined.
And he's been telling us that all along. It's nothing that we haven't heard from him before. And I don't know. To me, it's almost like, like Hanzo said, that's Windham being, shut up, I'm coming, just relax. But in a loving way.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's aware of, and I said this on Twitter, a few days ago, is that, he's aware of how much we love him and, how much we're behind him and we support him, and, that we just want to see him. Most people just want to see him happy. Some people just want to see him back. But those core Fireflies want to see him happy, and they want to see him. So, I think this is his way of kind of talking to us, like, just be patient. We're almost there, I promise. And almost time for what? I don't know. Um, Again, I think it's, he's almost it's almost time for him to tell that story.
Almost time to tell the story. Well,
That's what I think.
a lot of people, including myself, I'm not even gonna lie. I was hoping, like outside chance, maybe possibly. I want to go to Jesse's comment, and then I want to talk to you about that because a lot of people thought that maybe he was referring to returning to Hell in a Cell and returning last night. Jesse says, my heart wanted him to return last night, but my head wasn't trying to get carried away. I feel like he put up the patience tweet because he knew we'd all be impatient about his comeback. A lot of people, a lot of people, um, what's up, 7 feet? A lot of people really thought he would return last night.
I know.
And I know that, there's always like, could it be? But
Yeah.
you know,
It's always in the back of your head.
yeah, it's like, could it happen? What was your level of expectation for last night? And I mean, did you think he was going to return last night?
I thought it was unlikely, but kind of like I said, it's always in the back of your mind. Like, is he going to pop up when we least expect it? But I think we're in this state of always expecting it to some extent that I and I don't mean this in a bad way either. I almost feel like the surprise won't be as good. It won't be as big of a surprise, I guess, because we're always expecting it.
Right.
And it's that little voice in the back of our head. Could he pop up? Everybody's saying it now tonight. Could he pop up tonight? Could he pop up at, the next pay-per-view? Or could he pop up here? Could he pop up there? I mean, I don't know. That's always going to be in the back of your head. And I think what happened last night, me personally, I feel like, and this is not a disrespect to Bray either, because like I said, I love him, but I think if he would have came out after that Cody and Seth match, it would have detracted from what Cody just did. Because the fact that he wrestled with a torn pec muscle, a torn pec tendon, a complete tear. I mean, like, that's superhero shit right there.
Yeah.
And yes, I know he pops up, everyone's going to lose it, but we're always going to be expecting it. You get what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So it won't be quite as a shock. I don't know.
It's going to be like that Jack in the Box. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Like there's the winding going on, but you just never know when that thing's just going to pop out at you.
Yeah.
I love that.
But it's going to, so you're always expecting it. Doesn't mean you're not going to jump, but if someone pops up behind you when you're not expecting it, it's going to make you jump a little bit more.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you talked about it a little bit, and we do talk about wrestling here, so we got to bring it up. You mentioned it about Cody. Just talk a little bit more about what that was like. I want to know from the people in the chat. Like, I know this is a Bray centric show, and that's fine, but we gotta take a moment to respect what Cody Rhodes did last night.
Like I said, that was superhero shit. I did. He's not human. I mean, most of what he's going to be dealing with in those particular moments, because it was more of a recent tear, is the pain.
Mm.
Yes, he's going to have some stiffness, but the stiffness is going to get worse as the further out you get from that kind of injury. But it's something that needs to be surgically repaired. I think he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, they said 6 months.
Mm-hmm. It's not an easy recovery. Obviously, Cody is superhuman, so it may not take 6 months, but it's a tough injury. So I would imagine 99.9 of what percent of what he was dealing with last night was pain.
Pain.
And kind of like I said last night on the stream, it's that fine balance between, trying to medicate him to an extent where he's not as in pain. But obviously you can't over medicate him and that he can't do his job anymore. I mean, hey, he may not have been medicated at all.
True.
It's possible. Like I said, working in healthcare, I would think they would have at least given him some Toradol or something, just some NSAIDs, but yeah, most of what he was dealing with last night, I'm sure, was pain. And the fact that he was able to wrestle like that, but B, actually taking hits to that area, like, I'm sure that was absolutely excruciating.
Yeah.
And he won me over. Like, obviously I'm not new. I mean, I am new to wrestling, so I haven't really seen a lot of his older stuff, and he's kind of new to me. But he won me over last night, 100%.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
hands off.
And Chris brought up, I know the reports are that is 6 months. Hopefully it's not that long. But yeah, John Cena, Chris says John Cena had the same injury and came back in 3 months. It's possible. Some people, deal with the recovery and heal a lot faster than others. Hopefully that's the case for Cody, because I honestly believe last night, like, at this point, he's got to be in the championship picture once he gets healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's at that level at this point, especially after something like last night.
I mean, wrestling last night, you weren't going to make that particular injury any worse.
True.
It's already completely torn, so you're not going to make that particular injury worse. But, he did put himself at risk for obtaining other injuries, because he was, you're kind of babying that injury a little bit more. So you're opening yourself up to, risk for shoulder injuries and, all other kinds of things. So, the fact that he chose to go out and do that, and nobody else talked him into it. I think I read that somewhere that it was his choice to do that. Yeah, I have mad respect for him.
Yeah. And that's, yeah, I mean, that was a lot. I
was impressed, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, not many people were going to do that, what he did last night. And the thing is, like, not only did he go out and wrestle a match, and I think I said this last night, not only did he go out and wrestle, but he wrestled a really, really good match. Like, it was a spectacular match.
It was great.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's not like you went out there and put on like a 5-minute match. I mean, it was a
It was half an
great,
hour.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a great freaking match.
It was awesome. And
Yeah,
it was uncomfortable. Like, even not working in healthcare, it was uncomfortable to watch.
yeah,
Like, you're just sitting there going, oh my gosh, it's making me hurt.
yeah. I mean, from everything that was done, and you know, honestly, for the people that are like, why are they talking about Cody right now? It's gonna all tie back in. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's gonna come back around.
Cody and Bray have a lot of history.
Exact
A lot.
a lot. And he did mention Cody. He did at Cody on something. Um so we'll get there. But just everything that happened from Seth's ring attire being Dusty Rhodes themed,
Yeah.
like that was, you want to talk about a heel move, that's a heel move.
Yeah.
Um Cody coming down, and it was crazy because it was so dramatic, and I thought they did this so well. It was so dramatic when he was taking off his coat, like the way he took it off and how
Yeah.
slowly he took it off, and the crowd just like
Yeah.
seeing that for the first time.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I think you even had like an audible gasp when you saw it.
Yeah.
You like,
I
oh
was
my
like,
god,
oh, that hurts. Like, yeah. Mad respect to him.
yeah,
And yeah, Cody and Bray have a lot of history.
have a
They
lot
go
of
all the way back to Husky Harris days.
mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Deanna saying, I watched that match this morning. I almost cried. It was so emotional.
it was
Jet,
hard.
yeah. Jesse saying there's fan footage of him speaking um, after the show went off, saying it was completely his decision and sole choice to do it. Didn't want to disappoint the fans. Much respect to Cody. He won me over too last night, says Shane. Um, yeah, that, goodness gracious. Cody was Bray's mentor, so it's a circle. It's all a circle.
It's all a circle.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was crazy. So I guess I'm gonna ask the questions because um I'm gonna ask the question that a lot of people are gonna ask. I ask it to you every week, but there were people saying, well, because because he renamed himself Wyatt Six, they started filling in the blanks to tie it back to WWE, and well, they own the name, so he's gonna,
They own the name Bray Wyatt.
right, but they don't own Wyatt, and they don't own Wyatt Six. But
Mhm.
I'm just gonna ask the question anyway. Do you think when he returns, when he's good and darn ready to return, and I'll say it that way instead of the eloquent way that he put it in his tweet. Um, do you think it's to WWE?
I don't know. Part of me does, and then part of me doesn't. It really just depends on how strained that relationship really was. That's something that we don't know because we haven't heard his side of everything. We've heard Matt talk about it. We've heard other people speculate about it, that um that Vince was really tough on him, and when he liked him, he really liked him, and then when he didn't. um but we don't know how. I mean, obviously, you trust Matt, but we don't know how accurate that is. um and we don't know how that was from Wyndham's point of view. So I don't know. And the reason I'm so torn on it is because we don't know his side of things.
Right.
We need to, well, we don't need to know. We want to know how he feels and how that went down, and we want to know his story.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Um, I mean, there are a lot of schools of thought out there about it, saying, well, it's got to be WWE. Not necessarily. There's a lot of different things that he could do wrestling wise. Let me get
I
to
mean,
a
there's a
couple.
possibility that he never goes back to wrestles.
Yeah,
Maybe he ends up in movies
yeah.
or TV, or maybe he ends up being an artist, or I don't know.
Maybe he's
This
behind the
guy,
camera,
yeah.
in
Oh
Hollywood.
gosh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, maybe
Not
he
that,
becomes a writer.
I don't love him in the ring, but he's got such a beautiful mind that, he would do so good with storytelling.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. I want to read a few comments and get your thoughts. Um, Hanzo saying AEW wouldn't suit him. Sure, he'd get creative freedom, but you've got too many similar characters. If he did return home, one, Fiend on the back burner, two, give him creative freedom, give him belief. James Grant, let's see, saying I think if he does come back to wrestling, it is WWE. I don't think he would fit in AEW. They already have so much dark characters, and TK may not understand his ideas. Um, Big Dan, what if they do the Black Ops stuff and bring him backstage tonight, hide him, then there's teases throughout the show, and at the end we see the lights go out and the butterfly symbol is on fire. Oh, Big Dan.
Hmm.
We would love that.
Yeah, we would love. We just want to see him at this point.
Yeah. Maybe he's coming on the podcast. Who knows?
I can neither confirm or deny such rumors.
Hi,
We just have
Diana.
to wait and see.
Nicole saying, don't forget he's also doing a movie with Tom Savini's team.
Hmm.
Yeah, Diana, hello. Let's see. What if Bray made his own company with his brother or even Eric Rowan?
Ooh, I definitely think that would work for him. He may not want to though.
He may not want to.
He may not want to be the business runner.
I could I could see him wanting to be very much behind the scenes, but not wanting that type of, you know,
Responsibility.
responsibility. Like let him be creative and go.
Yep.
Colt of Wyndham says Deanna. I I gotta bring it back to that too. Like,
We still never really. I mean, Jesse kind of hinted at what that really was,
mm-hmm,
but that doesn't mean that can't be used for other things.
right.
Maybe it still is. I don't know.
Maybe so. I mean, that may be the case, and if it is, um, wow. I mean, I just want to hear the guy talk again. It doesn't matter how long it is. We're gonna all listen to it, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, Hanzo making some good points here. Um, I think in priority: one, marry JoJo; two, relax, enjoy; three, come back and make Jodie lose herself.
um, I think everybody would kind of lose themselves if he comes back and wrestles.
Yeah,
I think we're all really excited about the movie, um, and seeing what's going to come of that and how that's going to come out. And um, we're just looking forward to seeing him in whatever capacity that is.
that will be cool, Big Dan. Big Dan saying, "What if he plays the Elias character like a spoof?" of the DC Marvel universe multiverse, and Kevin Owens says, "Wait a minute, you're Bray Wyatt." That would be pretty cool. Dylan, if Bray comes back, do you think he'll be the Fiend or himself? That's a good question, Joe.
My gut instinct says that he'll create a new persona.
Something completely different.
Hmm. That's what he's good at.
Hmm. Yeah. Hanzo, but does this mean the Fiend is something he gets rid of, like doesn't need anymore? Maybe he doesn't want to be the Fiend anymore. Do you get that sense?
I I think there's a way that they could spin it, being maybe that he doesn't need the Fiend anymore, or they combine together, or there's definitely, a storytelling way to spin that they became one being, or
Hmm.
yep, like Alicia said, shredding his skin, or maybe he really did learn how to control it, and that he wasn't accurate in saying that before. um but yeah, I definitely think there's a way to spin that. I don't think obviously he created that character, so I can't necessarily say he doesn't want to be the Fiend anymore. I know there were parts of that character that were difficult for him, but um, he's one of those people that gives 125% into every character that he does, and um, I wouldn't mind seeing him come back a little darker.
I would love that. Zambi saying, hopefully his new persona is as terrifying as the Fiend.
Yeah, I'd like to see him come back a little darker.
I would love that. I would love that. I mean, in what aspects would you like to see him darker?
I mean, yes, darker as in more horror based with the
Yeah.
character, but also darker psychologically. Going deeper into that psychosis, and um, almost Saw Jigsaw ish.
Mm. You know you can sign me up for that anytime you mention Saw. I'm there.
Of course. But yeah, I'd like to see him dig into that psychological side a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting. That really would be. Chris saying, I think it will be like how they did it when he came back as Funhouse Bray. He was gone for a while, and they casually mentioned that he had changed from what he was.
I
Uh,
just think it would be hilarious if he came back and just said, "Did you miss me?" Just like he did last time.
did you miss me?
Mm-hmm. Because that's what he said when he came back as Funhouse Bray, and we were all just like, "Oh my gosh, he's back!" It would just be really ironic if he used that same line again.
Deanna saying, if you want to go that way, pull in Joe Gacy. Not a fan of that, Jody?
Wyndham is really, really good on his own, and I think he needs to stay that way.
Yeah. Larry Bongo from Twitch. What's up? Saying, I'd love Impact Anthem to take a risk. Listen, you're preaching to the choir. Put some money on the table and say, let your imagination run wild. As long as it's legal, we'll show it.
I can totally imagine Impact saying that too.
As long as it's legal, we'll show it. Yeah, we've been saying Impact, my goodness, since he got released, like how great it would be for him to go to Impact. Not just great from a Wyndham standpoint, but this would be big for business for Impact and Anthem. Like this would be huge, monumental for them. So I
Yep.
mean, yeah, I all for that. Um, spoof on brother love, say brother dislike. Mark saying, I wonder if he would touch on how he felt about working with Miss Bliss. I got the impression that he didn't want to, and that was part of the reason why. That
I
maybe,
I don't know. Um, I mean, yeah, it would be interesting to hear about that part of the story as well, about whether that was his decision or, you know, I know Miss Bliss certainly, said something about it. Did she say something like who wouldn't want to work with him? Um, and I get that, but Wyndham needs that space.
yeah,
He needs that freedom.
Impact with Deanna saying, wait, Impact doesn't have to be legal. Swingers Place, Swingers Palace. They have murdered 2 people on Impact before. So I mean, he could do everything. I mean, he did bring back he brought back they brought back PCO. So that was good. You know what? I don't know. He would be great in Impact. Like I just he would be tremendous. He would be absolutely tremendous in Impact.
Yes, he would.
And of course, that would just ramp up business for everyone. I mean, think about the number of views, you know, you get for stuff like that.
Hmm.
It'd be great. Um, Jesse saying, thing is, if Bray came back tonight and eliminated Cody from the equation, it definitely make him a heel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is interesting. If he came back right now, current circumstances with Cody, and he attacked Cody, and they try to make it seem like that's why he needs surgery now, even though they've already kind of leaked it. That would be like nuclear heat because I mean Cody's so over right now.
Hmm.
You'd have a major heel, but I think I think Raw needs a mega baby face at this point. Maybe this is where they start to build. I don't know who they start to build back up, but maybe they do
I
some
have
push.
no idea because obviously they didn't expect this with Cody, and
Yeah,
I don't know what they're gonna do.
yeah. I don't either.
I know that when Cody didn't wrestle in the house show, they had Drew McIntyre step in for him. So I don't know if that's the direction that they might be going. Um, I don't know. Kind of like you said, they need that big baby face. Not that you have to have heels and baby faces. Like Bray has always been in that special tweener spot. Like he
Yeah.
was technically a heel, but everybody loved him, and yeah. Um, yeah, they definitely weren't expecting to lose Cody, and definitely not for that long.
No.
I think they were probably building him up for a major title run. Not to say that they won't when he comes back, but now where do you go?
It's tough. It's an interesting proposition. Insert killing, insert name here. Cat Wyndham would be perceived as a baby face in the
Maybe it depends on who he goes after. Like you said, if he goes after Cody,
Yeah.
but if he goes after Roman, yeah, he's gonna be perceived as a babyface. But
People would be like, yes.
I mean, somebody has to beat him at some point. Don't get
Some
me
point.
wrong. I love Roman, but somebody has to beat him.
One of these years.
I mean, I,
You can't even say one of these days anymore. One of these
no,
years.
because you're like, when the heck is somebody gonna beat him? At
One
this
of
point,
these
you're like,
years.
who is gonna beat him?
Right.
I mean, you just don't know anymore.
That's very true. That's very true. Um we'll end on that note. So Jody, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Everybody that's going to the Windham meet and greet this weekend, have a good time. Make sure you give him a hug for me. And I know Brittany will come back with lots of pictures. And I will be off to Ohio on Friday to go see Caleb.
There you go. And I know you're gonna have a lot of fun with that, and we look forward to hearing about it.
Oh, you'll hear all about it on Monday.
Got to hear all about it on the next edition of Abby's Window. So we're back finally. We took a little hiatus. We're back. We will be back Thursday, folks, for Impact Watch Along. Come check it out. Even if you're not an Impact fan, Slammiversary is in a couple weeks. It's going to be great. Get on board now if you want to check it out with us, and it's a good time. It's a lot of fun, and there's something on that show for everyone. So come check it out, see what you think, and yeah, hopefully you like it. Other than that, we'll be back on Sunday, I believe, for our weekly wrestling wrap up show at 8:30 next Sunday. So yeah, that's it for right now. Jody, thank you. This was fun as always.
I'm going back to bed.
There you go. Go back to bed. And I'm going to put this profile picture back up just because I like it. So thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If
Happy
you
birthday, Brittany.
Happy birthday, Brittany. Happy birthday, Sean. And anyone whose birthday's coming up soon and you just didn't mention it, happy birthday to you. Let me mention this before we go to. If you have not done so already, please like this video. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We would love to have you. Let me put this profile picture back up because it's awesome. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you hopefully on Thursday. But if not, hopefully we will see you soon. Take care.